Hey guys, in this video I want to quickly talk about a topic that so many people are, talking about. They're wondering, do teens like it big? And that's why I've titled this video, do teens like it big? Because, I got a big thing over here. And of course, when I talk about big stuff, this is a geek channel. The only thing we're gonna talk about here that's big is smartphones, okay? So, do teens like it big? Do teens like big smartphones? Nothing else. It's a geek channel. We're talking about smartphones over here. So, we're getting bigger phones all the time. iPhone has never changed its size. Always been 3.5 inch. And, all of the other phones, like new high-end smartphones, just getting bigger and bigger, like 4.3 inch screen, 4.6 inch, and here we got the, like the biggest smartphone ever, the Galaxy Note. That's 5.3 inch screen. It's big. I mean, I gotta say, it's extremely big for a smartphone, and people are wondering when it's good, when is it gonna be too big? Especially girls. No, yes. I think, yeah, that could be the case actually, because they have smaller hands usually, but I don't have big hands either, so yeah. But yeah, I think mostly girls, they have smaller hands. I think that they would prefer the iPhone because that's a small one, it's good something maybe for them. Yeah, but for us, men, and for us that likes to be cool, of course it looks bigger. It's always, looks bigger, it looks better, looks America, you have a big fat screen. Okay, I know this phone's not even wearable right now in America, so that's kind of like a fail, because in America everything's bigger. But okay, not the smartphones, because Apple is, an American company. So, is this a too big phone? If you ask me, I'm gonna say no. It's not a too big phone. But how do I use this phone? Do you use it as a phone like this, or an S2 that's 4.3 inch? Let's see here, can I get up my S2? Yeah, there we go. Here we have my S2 as well. Do you use the same way when you get a bigger screen, 5.3 inch? No, you don't. You don't. So, usually when I type on these phones, I type with one hand, because as you can see, it's very, very easy to... I have to move my hand like a little bit if I want to touch the upper corner there, but like you never touch it. But the keyboard over here, it's very easy. I don't have that big hands, girl hands, of course. So I would all, okay. So I type like this. I type with one hand when I'm doing like this, typing and everything. Usually, I don't use two hands with this device. Okay, I do use it sometime when I'm typing like this on a keyboard, but that's like the only time I do that. And it's the same with this one. I think maybe, yeah, I'm sure maybe two hands here as well. But when you have a big screen like this, how do you use it? Okay, I would say that, first of all, when you slide down from the top here, I always use, as you can see, okay, first of all, when I hold this device, you can see that this is where I could touch, okay? You can see where I'm moving my thumb around. I have to move my hand a little higher to, swipe down like that. And that's what I usually do, but you learn to control that by, just moving your hand a little bit each time, and you can, bend it like this, and, you can bend it. It's a big device. You can play around with it. No, but you do that. I use it with one hand all the time. When I bring down the notifications, I tap on my email. I could, scroll. I could have a look. You do it like this. It looks kind of badass. I mean, when I'm holding it like this, it looks badass. And opening stuff and everything, usually, no problem. Let's say I have a mail up here in the top, then I have to move my hand a little bit higher up. But, you will get used to that, okay? It's not that of a big deal, and it feels really good. You can see that much, you don't have to scroll around, but usually that's not a problem. You know, I usually bring down the notifications because I get stuff. Now, here's the thing, when you're typing, you don't type like on these phones. You type, usually, like 99% of the times when I type on this one, like this, you have to like type with two hands, okay? You can't type with one hand. That's okay. You can type with one hand, but I usually don't do it. And when I do type with one hand, that is when I'm holding my phone like this in one hand, and then let's say I'm in my bed, and I usually hold my device like this, and then I type with one hand like this. And that's kind of nice. I do that a lot. But you know, when I want to type fast, if I'm going somewhere or something like that, I usually type like this, and it feels really good. It feels almost like typing in landscape mode on this device. So that's just how you're gonna do it. You know, you're not gonna use one hand like this. You can do it, but you know, it could be a little hard to tap up here in the top. But yeah, usually you will tap like this. If you don't like that, don't get this device, okay? It's a big effing phone, okay? It's a big, massive device. So that's how you're gonna tap like that. Now, people are also like wondering, okay, but what about in landscape? Okay, this is also the thing. It's not the same thing as when you're typing like this. You may say that, okay, this is kind of nice, I think, but I think it's a little too big sometimes. But you know, I have kind of like small hands, but of course you will type like this. You won't type with one hand like this. It's gonna be kind of hard, but you will type like this over here as well. But usually, you know, I just type like this because this is a big keyboard. This is an extremely big keyboard, okay? But usually I type like this, and the keyboard is wonderful when you type like this with two hands. It's insane. But you know, this is how it's gonna look like when you're holding it, and it doesn't look that weird at all when you're, you know, having it close to your ear or something like that, and talk to people. But you know, that's how I use it. And sometimes if I can't reach it, because you know, you have to move your hand a little bit when you're using this device. If you don't have extremely big hands, but you know, you have to move either the phone in your hand a little bit, or you have to move it up, you know, a little bit like that. But you know, you will learn it. As you can see, I can do it pretty quick over here, and then you can have it back like that, and then you have like your thumb here, or your pinky, or whatever they're now calling it. You have it like that, it rests over there, and then you can just do it like that. I mean, you will learn how to control it, okay? You will learn how to control it. It's not that bad. And you know, I think this screen is amazing. I'm having a really hard time at, you know, going back to a small screen. And you know, the only like negative thing about the big screen like this is that you have to move the phone a little bit. But you know, think about the things like when you're browsing, when you're watching movies, when you're playing games. This screen is massive, and it's wonderful to play games like this. It's insane, it's bananas. And you know, you won't go back. I don't think you're gonna go back after you get used to this device. But also, I don't think this is a phone for everyone. For me, it did take like a week to get used to it, you know. And if you're gonna try to have it in bed and, you know, type with one hand, you know, just forget about it. Just have it with, hold it like this or something like that, and then you can type. But you know, I love the screen. I use my phone a lot to browse, and it's just a nice phone when you're doing that. But as I said there, you have to move your hand, your hand a little bit around like this. But I mean, it's not that a big deal. And it's beautiful, and it got, you know, all of these amazing things. And it's also more amazing when you are recording something, because it feels better with a bigger screen. You can see more and everything. And I mean, that's the most important thing, that you can see a lot on your phone. Now, I'm not sure if I would like a bigger phone than this. I think this is kind of, you know, you don't want a bigger phone like this, okay? This is this is how big we're gonna have it, okay? So yeah, but for me, I'm having a really hard time to, I don't even want to type on these devices. It's so small. I like to type like this. You can type so extremely quick and everything. So, you know, it's not too big. But for teens, especially girls, I think that it may be too big, you know? Go with the smaller this, you know, device. Americans love it, even though usually Americans love, you know, big stuff, extremely big stuff. But yeah. See you guys.